right. I guess we're almost ready to start. Oh.
There was still some spaces left because people for the introductory course didn't show up, so I have the chance to get a bed.
Can you say again, sorry?
So there were still some spaces left for the introductory course because people didn't come.
Okay.
So I have a bed now to join this course.
Of course. Sure. Of course. Welcome. I thought you were there, over there. Didn't even notice you were in there. Of course. Okay. Great. So we do the meditation. There's still, is anyone missing who's your neighbor? Yes? 2 people? Is that right? 2 people. Okay. You're there. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's start at least with breathing meditation. And, well, even if they arrive then, at least they don't miss anything. Okay. At least just the breathing. And afterwards, or maybe let me say this much before we... So now we have a dedication prayer. This much I want to say. You've noticed that we spend a lot of time on the motivation, which is considered to be so important to prepare our mind for a teaching. But equally important is also to dedicate whatever positive potential, that it doesn't ripen in some worldly short-term benefit, but ripen in the form of our spiritual development. That is considered to be really important because it's such powerful potential. And we do this prayer, and it's pretty obvious what it means. May bodhicitta ripen on the basis of that. Of course, then for us to become enlightened. May the precious view of emptiness also enhance. So this is the dedication I chose for this particular group. I'll also talk about it briefly before we finish the meditation, but I've also added this long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Now, this is not just for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. This is done, and it's supposed to include all the masters. So there's still great enlightened masters in all the traditions of Buddhism. So although we chose the one of His Holiness, but think in your mind, all the realized masters, all those who live what they teach. So these lamas, as we call them, gurus or lamas, may they have a long life and may they continue to teach through their example and through their teachings. So that is supposed to be, well, beneficial, of course, in terms of the lives of the lamas and so forth, because they're just there for us, but also for us to make the connection with these great beings who really live the Dharma. Okay? Okay, so this is just a short explanation so you know what we're doing. And then let's start with some breathing. And like yesterday, I'll guide you through, okay, great. And guide you through the analysis. And ask you at the very end to focus on the insight you've come to. Okay. So now get in touch with your sense of I. Or if it doesn't clearly appear, think of a time when there was a very strong sense of I. As in, I've been wrongly accused. or I have just been praised in front of a lot of people. Try to get a sense of the object. There's a concrete, separate entity we call I. Is there a sense that it's located somewhere specific in your body? Is the I, is yourself in your heart? Is it in your head? Or maybe in your belly? Mentally sweep through your body. To check whether you can locate it somewhere. Starting with the top of your head. Is the brain the I? Or is there a certain part of the brain that we can call the I? But then why do we talk about my brain or my part of the brain? Which implies an owner separate from the brain. Can you find the self, the I, in your face, or maybe in your throat? In your arms? your fingers. Which of course would mean if one of your limbs is missing, the eye is gone. Or is the eye somewhere in the chest area or even in the belly? Or in your legs? Is it all of your body? Which of course is problematic because we're talking about my body. So then we're left with a mind. There are 6 types of mind. The 5 sense consciousnesses and the mental consciousness. Well, the sense consciousnesses can't be the eye because when we're asleep, for instance, they're not there. The sense consciousnesses are not manifestly there. Which would mean that there's no self while we're asleep. So then all that's left is the mental consciousness. But again, we're saying, my mind. Or I'm controlling my mental consciousness. I'm observing. I'm mindful of my mental consciousness. What is that I that observes? Well, the analysis you've just done was not looking for the existent I, but the I that usually appears to us, which is an inherent I, an independent I. Which we simply can't find. Unless it existed separate from mind and body as it appears to us. Which means you can remove your mind and your body and you should be left with an inherent I. Does that actually make sense? And does all that mean that there is no I at all? Well, there is. There is a merely labeled, or merely designated I. Which means every time my body moves, there's the thought, I move. When my mind thinks, there's the thought, I think. And when on the basis of my mental consciousness wanting to write a letter, and my arms and now my fingers engage in the action of writing a letter, based on that I label, I write a letter. But beyond that labeled, that designated I, on the basis of parts of the mind and the body, no I can be found. Or beyond the merely labeled I, there is no I. Now to conclude this short analysis, spend a moment single-pointedly focusing on whatever understanding, whatever insight you've gained, however little it may be. Just single-pointedly focus on that insight. And then let's dedicate whatever positive potential we've accumulated by just listening, reflecting and meditating on what we heard today. May it ripen in the form of our mind reaching the enlightened state of a Buddha, to be of greatest benefit to all sentient beings. It may likewise ripen in the form of our mind generating the mind of enlightenment and the wisdom realizing reality. Which are the main causes for the enlightenment of a Buddha. And to deepen that dedication, let's recite the prayers together while paying attention to the words. The dedication. May the precious supreme bodhicitta, not yet born, arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. May the precious view of emptiness, not yet born, arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. And then the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, but also all other great masters. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Denzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Okay. That wasn't an easy meditation, and I don't expect you to walk away going, yeah, I got it. No, it takes time, but that's the first step. Anyway, take a break, enjoy your dinner, you have another meditation, but then have a good rest tonight, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. So please leave.
About the meditation, I just need to say, they will have the meditation at 8 o'clock, but we have it at 7:30. So maybe again for the kind gong ringer, if you could separately ring the room. Otherwise, you can decide. We can maybe today we leave it like this, and if you do find you need a longer break, we can also shift it half an hour to the back. But this is up to you. But I think maybe we for tonight stick to that schedule, and then be very kind if you could ring the gong 10 minutes beforehand.
Okay, great. All right. Sure, welcome.